Okay, this is going to be kind of a fun one here, at least for me anyway. I've seen others demonstrate this in videos, and I wanted to try it for myself. And so what I'm going to try is to extract this crank arm using a gear puller like this, right, instead of your traditional crank puller. What happens is sometimes when you're trying to use a traditional crank puller, you have it threaded into the crank arm, but the threads rip out of the crank arm, and then it gets difficult to remove. And so some people have figured out you can install this gear puller onto the crank and use it to pull the crank arm. There will be limitations, of course, depending on whether or not you have something to grab onto on the back side of the crank arm. With these three teeth is going to be important. In this case, it works well. On the other side, I wasn't able to because the crank arm was blocking the ability for the tool to grab. So this is not going to work in every situation. I guess we'll find out if it works in any situation. The other challenge I have on this particular bike is that the crank arm is held on with a nut instead of with a bolt, and so then I have the spindle sticking out as opposed to a recessed hole to guide the crank puller. So not ideal for every scenario, but if it can help you out in a pinch, then great. There you go. So, in the event that these threads get stripped out on your crank arm and you can no longer use your normal crank puller, it does appear that this type of a gear puller will do the job. Kind of cool.